Hello and welcome to the EMTV preview show. Joining me this week is Mitchell, Davey and Josh Pickering, and of course they're making their debuts this week at Armadale in the SGB Championship opener against Scunthorpe. We're going to be looking ahead to that. In this show we're actually going to be speaking to Louis Kerr from Scunthorpe, obviously a very popular visitor to Armadale, and we'll speak to the guys about the Scottish Open as well. Also coming up in this show is a regular feature, Mike's Blast for the Blast, classic Armadale races. We've got a few crackers for you this week. Just to speak over the Scottish Open with you guys, Mitchell, just to come to you first, maybe wasn't what you planned, how you wanted it to go, but obviously you've took from that, reading what you've said this week about maybe small goals are key going forward. Is that really what you're taking into this Friday?
Yeah, it was a strong lineup that they'd put together, and you know, essentially I was only the sort of only number 7 of the league in the lineup, and it's not an excuse, but you know, I'd set myself probably targets a little bit too high for how early it is in the season and actually how much ride time I've got under my belt. So you know, I was a bit down after Friday, but you know, it can only get better. It can't get any worse. You know, hit the deck, and you know, I got up and kept riding, and just tried to focus on getting me lines right and get my head right for this Friday.
Is it all about, as well, just looking ahead slightly to Friday before we actually get to that segment, is it all about yourself just knowing that your job is just to beat the other number 7, and it's kind of nullifying the power from the other reserves on each side?
Yeah, that is sort of the main objective, and then you know, it's always good to, if I can start with a strong heat too, and then you know, anything else for the rest of the days is going to be a bonus. So you know, we'll work towards that, and yeah, nullify the opposition number 7, and you know, the more points I score, the less points they score. So, and that's only what the team needs and wants.
Josh, just looking at your Scottish Open, it almost started in the perfect way. Perhaps maybe a wee bit too much adrenaline getting into that last lap.
Yeah, well, you see the riders I was up against, and they're no mugs, and I knew what I was capable of, and we got a start. I wasn't in the lead straight away. I come from the back, and out of turn 2 I took the front, and wasn't saying that was what I wasn't going for, but I surely wasn't expecting it. And first race around Armadale, and yeah, like you said, it could have been something special, but it is what it is, mate, and we just have to move on. But excuse me, sorry, just got to move on from it. And yeah, like you said, adrenaline was pumping, and I maybe should have looked around and slowed down a little bit, but
did you think the guys were close to you at that point when you went into the last lap?
Mate, to be honest with you, I didn't know if they were this far away from me or where they were actually. If I knew where they were, I definitely would have slowed up. But it's experience. It won't happen again, and there's something we can learn from, so I'm happy about that.
Of course, as we mentioned, Josh actually got his first race win under his belt at Armadale on Friday evening, and we can take a look at that now.
Heat 14, Josh Pickering's on gate 1, Mark Risk gate 2, Matthew Weathers gate 3, and Max Clegg in gate 4. And Josh has made a good one from the inside. What can he do here? Coming up to the lead, very good. Now, can he stay cool this time? Oh, Mark Risk has fallen off, and so has Max Clegg. Let's hope it isn't going to get stopped. There's no reason why it should be. Mark Risk has come off the track. So that's an important loss there for Mark. He might have been favourite for this race. Josh Pickering riding that dirt line very nicely. The second time he's been in the lead. Last time it went wrong at this bend. This time he's ridden it a lot better. Final turn, he swung round too far, but he's well in front, and he takes his first race win in the UK. Well, he's going to be a popular boy here, I'm sure of that.
Josh, it must have been excellent to get your first race win under your belt, though. I know the first heat didn't go to plan, but certainly you got that first heat win. That must give you a lot of confidence.
Yeah, well, how we touched base on the first heat would have been good. Would have been good to start off the season that way, and and it definitely would have pointed me in the right direction confidence-wise. But after that fall, I maybe wasn't in the headspace the next meeting, the next race. Sorry, I was a little bit disappointed in myself, even though Steve and Bainey, they were just trying to keep me calm. But when all you want to do is win races and something that silly happens, then you get a bit down on yourself. But we set the goals, and I knew I was going to win a race that meeting. I just had a feeling. So I'm glad it happened, and hopefully we can have plenty more of that.
The Scottish Open a perfect opportunity, Mitchell, for the guys now to perhaps this week speak to one another about setups and like how the meeting went, stuff they want to try out, for talk's sake.
Yeah, well, I think everyone, rode exceptionally well in the team, apart from myself. I obviously had a bit of a rough night, but everyone showed glimpses of what they can do, or rode at a very high standard. So we'll obviously work as a team and share information if we need it and that. But for most of the boys, it all started pretty well, and it's always hard in your first meeting, but for everyone to start as well as they did, it's only going to be positive from there.
Of course, Justin Sedgman went on to win the Harrison Scottish Open on Friday night. A worthy winner in the end, by all accounts, but it was a tough meeting, Josh. There was a lot of big names, and as you've seen by the final, a lot of Armadale kind of experts involved there.
Yeah, it was definitely a big meeting. In a way, it's very good, actually. I'd rather start the year off with a very hard meeting, because it makes you sort of sit back and, righto, this is what we're doing over here now, and you can't give anyone any room. Like I've watched over the videos, I've seen my mistakes, and there's just little things where I shouldn't have been doing, and if I didn't do it, then it probably would have turned out better. But 4 points, possible 7 from your first meeting in the lineup it was. Not saying I'm not happy with it, but I sort of expected that. I knew what I was up against, and I know how I can go. So yeah, we weren't setting the bar too high. My goal was to actually get 5 points, but it is what it is, mate. And on to the next one, and I'm just looking forward to start the season off this Friday night and hopefully get a 500 straight away with Sam.
Yeah. This Friday, the Parsons People Monarchs take on the Scunthorpe Scorpions at Armadale in the SGB Championship opener. This week I caught up with the Scorpions' Louis Kerr. Of course, Louis, a very popular visitor here at Armadale. Before we hear from Louis, we can see one of his classic races from 2014, where he teamed up with his Newcastle teammate Danny King, and they took on Justin Sedgman. Heat number 15 then. And on the inside for the Monarchs is Max Frick in white, and gate number 2 is Lewis Kerr. Gate number 3 for the Monarchs in blue is Justin Sedgman, and on the outside, it's Lewis Kerr on the outside in yellow, Danny King in white, gate number 2, Lewis Kerr on the outside in yellow. This really is a massive heat in the context of the match, the league, the playoff positions. A point here could possibly be enough for Newcastle to sneak into the last playoff spot, depending on results elsewhere. Monarchs need the 3 points to finish top of the league. This really is a crucial heat, and Danny King's made the start, and it's Justin Sedgman who's chasing him in the blue helmet colour. Max Frick round the pole line. Can Max Sedgman get round the outside and seal the 3 points for the Monarchs? But it's King, if it stays the same way, it'll be the Monarchs who'll take all 3 league points with a 7-point advantage. King out in front. Max needs to watch behind them, and Danny King stretches his advantage over Frick, and Sedgman. Kerr at the back. If Kerr can get past one of the Monarchs, that'll mean the Diamonds will take a point from the Edinburgh. It's Kerr out in front. I got it right the first time. Kerr out in front from Frick and Sedgman. Sorry about the confusion there. And it's King at the back, surprisingly. And it's a 3-all. And the Monarchs take all 3 league points crucially in their quest to finish top of the Premier League. The confusion coming from the fact we've got the wrong information from the box. But the 3-all is enough to make sure that the Monarchs take 3 league points. The Diamonds walk away with none, and it looks as if their playoff hopes are dead for 2014. Louis, back with the Scunthorpe Scorpions this season, was that a no-brainer after last year?
Yeah, I mean, when I joined the for the second half of the season. I really got dialed in quickly to the track, and it sort of turned the season around really, and the club in general, everything about it, was great. So I really wanted to go back there.
Really, you come in this season on a 5.98 average. Is that pretty modest for yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say it's quite low, really. I need to improve that a hell of a lot, really, and sort of crack on, really. And, hopefully, I would like to be number one at Scunthorpe this year, so, but yeah, it's pretty low, to be honest. I do need to improve that.
It's been a bit of a tough start to the season for Scunthorpe. Obviously, it's Edinburgh's first meeting, but you've had a couple of meetings under your belt now, but a few defeats in there. Are you confident you can turn that around?
Yeah, I'm sure we can. I mean, it's not ideal starting the way we have, and yesterday at Scunthorpe, I think some of the riders found the track a bit tricky, but it's the same for everybody, and I'm sure we'll turn it round. But it's not great starting with a home defeat, but just got to keep positive.
Up at Edinburgh this week, we think it's a track you enjoy. You looking forward to it?
I am, yeah. I didn't manage to get there last season with clashes and stuff, so I'm looking forward to getting back there. I really do like the track, it's well prepared, and I'm really looking forward to it. Good
man. You confident, looking at the Edinburgh side, are you confident that Scunthorpe can come away with something?
Yeah, to be honest, I mean, everywhere we go, I think, we're pretty, we've not really got an out-and-out number one, we're pretty solid throughout, so, we ran them close to Peterborough, and, towards the end of last season with the same team, we've done it to plenty of clubs away from home, so I'd like to think we can, yeah.
Just looking at yourself in what's now the Premiership, obviously we know the situation that happened with Coventry, perhaps left yourself in limbo slightly, but signed up with the Poole Pirates to cover Kyle Newman. You must be glad to eventually get a team spot. Yeah,
I'm over the moon, to be honest. I was really gutted, obviously, when it all happened, and I sort of thought, well, start the season as strong as I can, and hopefully something will come in, and injuries happen, don't they? And then happened obviously quicker than I thought, really, and until Kyle's back, I've just got to try and do as best I can, and go from there, really, and see what happens.
You speak about injuries there, Louis. You've obviously had a few bad ones yourself over the last couple of years. Are you back to full fitness?
Yeah, no, I'm all good, to be honest. I was good last year. Just had sort of, I think machinery problems sort of hindered me a little bit on the start of the season, and then got my own equipment and turned my season around, and I was back to my old self. So I'm looking forward to starting the season fresh and on my own stuff again.
Good man. We'll see you Friday, Lewis.
Yeah, cheers, buddy. Thank you.
Big thanks to Louis Kerr for doing the interview for us this week, and we hope through the course of the season to be able to give you more away riders as they come up throughout the year. Josh, just to look ahead to Scunny, Louis Kerr mentioned in the interview there they haven't had the best of starts to the season, but they do have a fairly stuffy side, I think you would call it, and they're full of riders that could potentially cause an upset here, but the guy's confident they can go out and start the season in a high.
Yeah, me and Mitch actually went down to Glasgow the other day and had a look at the opposition, but every rider in this league, they should be at a hard level, I suppose, and you can't go into any race thinking that you're going to win it because they're the ones you usually lose. So every race I'm going into, I'm going to treat it as a final, and it don't matter what rider I'm up against, I'm going to make sure I'm trying to go to have it over them. But they look like a strong side, and I believe the way the boys rode on Friday night, and with Mitch, how he said he's going to look forward and learn from what he's done, then I think personally we'll be okay. There's no reason why we can't start the season off on a high and just keep it that way.
Mitchell, obviously we heard for Louis there. Louis is actually coming in a 5.98 average. That's a bit of a steal, I would say, for Scunthorpe, but is he the danger man in their side?
Yeah, he could be classed as a danger man, but every one of them has the potential to be a danger man. You really don't get put in this league unless you're of a high standard. So, but obviously Louis, he's been good around tight tracks. He had a couple of years at Newcastle, and so Newcastle's just a slightly bigger version of Armidale. So yeah, he is one of the riders to look out for. But you know, you just got to take each race as it comes and just line up, race your own race, and whatever happens, happens.
Josh, you perhaps maybe a wee bit more wary going into this match after having a pretty good Scottish Open. You a bit more wary of expectations for Friday?
Yeah, I'm not trying to set any goals, to be honest with you. Every race I go in, I want to do my best in it. It is what it is. Whatever happens, happens. But I'm definitely going to be trying, and that's all that matters. I think we've like I said before, we've got a good team, and with Sam directing us, he sort of puts you in the right way, I suppose. After press day, he set me up with what he thinks I should run, and at the Scottish Open I changed one thing, and it's got nothing to do with other bike setup. So I think we're off to hit the ground running with bike setup, and hopefully we can keep it that way. But it's going to be a tough meeting. Every meeting's tough, but yeah, we'll see how we go.
Eric's obviously started the season well in the Premiership, Mitchell. He appears not to lose races if he finishes in them. That must be a bonus, especially with the way he performed in the Scottish Open as well.
Yeah, Eric's come in this year. You know, he's had 2 seasons now, and I think he's a lot hungrier for it this year. So, you know, it's only going to translate well in his racing. You know, he really wants to do well. So, and as you can see, he's on good form at the moment. So long may it continue, and you know, he provides excellent scoring power for the team.
We're going to go now to our regular feature with Mike's Blast for the Pass. Some classic action. This week we're going to have classic Scunthorpe action, and in race 1 we're actually going to see a guy who's going to be here on Friday night. That's Carl Wilkinson, as he takes on Cali Catahisto, that's easy for me to say, in the first race in our classic race segment.
Gate 8, Simon Lambert's on gate 1, Cali Catiesto gate 2, Carl Wilkinson gate 3, and Joseph Tabaka on gate 4. And Wilkinson gates. Tabaka around the outside, Catiesto into second. Oh, and Tabaka shutting off far too quickly there. He's got back into third though. Catiesto chasing. 2 spectacular riders in first and second. Cali going for the big blast round the outside, and he's nearly there. It's not easy to get outside Wilkinson. He's a wide riding rider himself, and once again Catiesto's nearly there. Can he hang on at this pace? I think he's got round. Unbelievable. Supersonic speedway by Catiesto. Absolutely brilliant. That was some pass. And Tabaka gets a point, although he's not riding well. The Monarchs take a 4-2, and that was another incredible effort by Catiesto there, because Wilkinson is a quick man when he gets away.
Fantastic race there from Cali, showing the wide outside line here at Armidale. Race number 2 is another guy we're going to see on Friday night, and that's Ryan Douglas. In this race from 2014, Ryan takes on Craig Cook and Justin Sedgman to try and gain double points and get his side back in there. But can he head the league's number 1 rider? Let's find out.
Heat 10 then, and it is the first TR here, even though it's against Craig Cook. We've got Ashley Burks, Justin Sedgman, Ryan Douglas on the TR, and Craig Cook. And Douglas is away well, and so is Ashley Burks. Where's Cook going to try and find the drive? He's round the outside anyway. Certainly into second. We haven't seen the best of Douglas so far, but TR's bringing it out of him. Cook's going for the wide line. Oh, badly wrong there. Shot across the corner. He's lost a lot of ground. So, surprisingly, perhaps, TR's paying off at this stage. Cook turning a bit harder that time. Oh, that was a good corner. He's only got 1 lap to go. Where's he going to attack? Cutting up the inside. Here he comes. Cook is through. Douglas came down, but there was no contact at all.
by Google and 10 Scotland.
Big thanks to Mike for his blast from the past races. Absolutely fantastic action there. Of course, this weekend, guys, we're actually away to Berwick on Saturday night as well. Mitchell, have you got any words of advice for Josh before going to Berwick and bang a Gators track there?
Yeah, it is a bit of a Gators track, but it's big and fast. And coming from Australia, Josh will jump straight in and do a fine job. You've seen the way he attacked Armadale at the Scottish Open. There's nothing going to hold him back when he goes to Berwick. It's just get the right bike set up, make a start, and off you go.
Confident about seeing a new track, Josh?
Yeah, I like going to any new track, to be honest with you. I like a challenge, and hopefully we can get set up straight away and go from there. But I don't really get phased out by, I'm dreading going to this track or going to that track. Back at home, there was one track I didn't like, to be honest with you, and that was Rockhampton. But we tried new different things, and next thing you know is that Rockhampton had a big meeting on a couple of months down the line. And I said to Dad, look, I want to go do that. And he goes, what do you want to do that for? And I said, well, I don't like the track. I hate it. And the meeting as it is, I want to learn from it, I suppose. And in future times, if a Queensland title goes to it, I want to go there with confidence and not dreading going to the track. So we went there with a good attitude, and it turned out well for us anyway. So yeah, we're just any new track, I'm looking forward to a challenge, and yeah, hopefully we can just keep scoring some points.
Mitchell, new promotions come into Berwick over the winter. There seems to be a buzz about Berwick. Made a few track changes. You put more dirt on it for a start. There's a buzz down there, but does that add to the excitement of it going down there to race?
Yeah, I think the relationship between Edinburgh Berwick matches has always been quite good, and always has somewhat of a feel of a derby, even though it's not. But it's the new promotion have done great things so far, and they're working real hard to promote it. So you can only hope there's a big crowd on hand, and we get a lot of travelling support from Edinburgh, and we make it a match to remember.
How important is it to start the season well?
Oh, very important. Hence the reason why I placed a bit too much emphasis on myself at the Scottish Open. But it's a building block to the rest of your season. If you start off on the right foot, you just keep progressing. If you start off on the wrong foot, you're searching for answers already at the start of the year. So it's to get a home win on the Friday and an away win on the Saturday would be the ideal start. But we'll take it as it comes and work together as a team to hopefully get the job done.
Good job. This season, as we keep saying, we're going to be previewing each match here on EMTV on the Edinburgh website and Edinburgh Facebook page. But after each match, we're actually going to be filming a review show. But we're looking for fans to get involved in the naming of the show, because we've not quite got a name nailed down as yet. So if you've got any ideas of what we could call the review show that will be available each Saturday after each meeting, get in touch with us and we'll be sure to give you some credit, and perhaps maybe there'll be a prize involved somewhere along the line. As you can hear probably behind us, and you can see behind us, the preparation for Friday night's match is well underway. If you would like to get your tickets, you can do so. You can buy your tickets through the Edinburgh Monarchs website. Tickets are still available, so make sure you get yours and come on Friday and cheer the boys on to victory, hopefully. All that's left to say is thank you, Mitchell, thank you, Josh, for joining us here at a semi-sunny Armadale Stadium, and we look forward to seeing you all on Friday night. Good night.